Oh, hi Shin, how are you doing? I tried to make the extra hour help, it kind of did. I'm gonna see where I end up after a little bit. Yes. Technically an hour late, but whatever. What time is it? 10 a.m. Technically my start time is 9, but I was like... Again, I was trying to like... make up some of the rest that I didn't have. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'll try to go to sleep earlier. We'll see. I'll do my best. I think that, I think I'm just gonna have you basically remake the emotes. Or, not remake, but make new ones. From the set of old ones that I still have. So, like, all of the, like, I'm talking all of them, by the way. I'm telling you that now, so it's like... Just gonna be uniform with it, I think. We're just gonna go full throttle on it and do it. Cool. I'll get you a list of everything. For the emotes and everything, so you know exactly which ones we're doing and everything. Comfy! Big comfy. I'm super looking forward to those too. They're gonna be so good. Alright. Let's go ahead and give this a shot and see where we end up. Where's this music from, by the way? This is literally just a, it's just a YouTube, a live YouTube thing. No problem. All right. Blah blah blah. This. Turn this off. All right. All right. Time to see if I can muster my voice for Phoenix Wright. Ow. I think the trial I think this part of the trial though doesn't have that many doesn't have like super tough voices. Because I'm pretty sure the two toughest ones that I have, the old man and words. The old man and Gumshoe aren't a thing in this one, so in this part of the trial. So I should be good. Ah! Wait, where'd it go? Okay. I see what I did wrong. Alright. Take a swig of water first. What's a blind playthrough, by the way? It basically means that you've never played it before. Like, you haven't seen anything about it. Like, first playthrough's like, hey, I'm playing for the first time. Blind is, I've never seen anything about it. I haven't been spoiled on anything, that kind of stuff. Which, for anything past the first game was pretty true for that. Like, I had seen part of the anime and stuff, so I had, like, some level of idea. Like, from the first game, I knew, like, a few things, but, like, in Game 3 and this stuff, I have no idea. So... Wait, what? Hang on a minute. What? Is this right? Why is this for? Oh, that's episode 2. Okay. I got so scared. I was like looking at this bottom. I was looking at this bottom thing. It said part 4-2 trial. I was like, wait, where's my other one? Where's my save from before? Okay. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. Scaring the heckins out of me. It was from a previous episode. All right, January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Oh, boy. Oh, and I thought I was rid of Gumshoe. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. What do you mean? God damn it, Gumshoe. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, it doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trebion's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles! Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute! There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Hey, what's up, Cass? Thank you very much for the host. Much love to you, buddy. Welcome, everybody, to Phoenix Wright Fun Time. Brought to you by my shitty voice. Great to see you, man. Hopefully life's treating you well, dude. Alright, let me pull this back up. Okay, we're good. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell! We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. Oh, that's where the... Wait. Why is the prescription for the victim in... What? Why is it in the back? That actually doesn't make sense. I have no idea why the missing medication then is in the kitchen. For ears, you mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elk was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elk's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. Well, if it was a... What? Yeah, I was gonna say. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... It's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright! Alright. January 8th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Blah, blah. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Byard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Hello? Danny! What's up, buddy? Thank you very much, Danny, for the 17-month resub. Great to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Gotta go, ba-boop. Uh-oh. The net part emote's retired, Danny. We have officially retired the net part. Don't worry, we'll be getting something better soon. But good to see you, bud. All right.
Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. Trust me, Danny. It'll be good. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems.
The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Godo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Godo?
Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Godo.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it.
Okay. Very well, let's let the first witness take the stand. Oh boy. Oh boy, Mr. Armstrong time. I need another slug of water. Alright.
And you are?
Oh, bonjour, everyone! I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef at La Trebion restaurant. Enchanté! Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur! As you can see, I am la pet and perky gentleman known.
On the day of the incident, you were in Trebion's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur?
Huh?
Everything feels right. Oh boy. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Trebion. Oui, volunteers. Alright, at Trebion. When it all happened, there was 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decos that day. With some new art deco, okay. With some new art decos that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in the... God damn it. That always throws me off. He would have seen everything in reverse, non? Oh my god. Mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror. Where was it? I didn't even see it in the restaurant.
And suddenly the mystery disappears.
But where was it?
Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mayor would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. I agree. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Here, but where was it? He would have had to have been... Where would he have to have been looking at for that to even occur? He would have had to have been like here and been looking like here, but it wouldn't have... It's not how that works. Okay, that's just not helpful at all. We'll get to all that. All right. When it happens, there was 2 customers in my restaurant. Okay. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Mine's, of course, the young man who died. And the other not-so-young man. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll have to just try a different approach for the time being. Remember us experimenting with some new Art Deco. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoture? Decoture? Decoction? What? No, Art Deco. It's a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course. That's deco. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate. God. Trying to say that while doing the voice is hard times. I was trying to achieve a more feminine look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling. I'm losing it. We're losing it, chat. I was planning the most bold remodeling of La Decor. Okay. Alright. We're back on track. Come on. I can do this. Alright. Large mirror between the tables. Okay. What's up, Pocket Coffee? How you doing, bud? Alright. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see. If 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge! I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Is there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. What's up, Soma? How you doing, bud? Alright. I honestly don't remember. Mine's none, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? I'm going to. Most definitely. I need to know more about this. Isn't that Ace Attorney guy? It is Ace Attorney. That is Ace Attorney guy. Look at him. Look at him all being Ace Attorney like. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But... Objection. There it is.
You didn't ask, Trait. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Trebion the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trebion, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Okay. Normally I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Big objection! Normally, how does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you.
Huh?
Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here. Well, Trite?
Ah! Not the hair!
I do not have a top-knot!
Mr. Goto is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Bien, logic as one la day. Okay. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse? Hey,
Nick! We should take a second think about what old CD just said, or what old CD said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but...
You think old CD saw everything through a reflection?
If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper.
Alright. So what would not have been backwards? You're back with beer, nice. Hell yeah. Alright, so what? Experiments, art. Cup, earpiece, and... The cup, earpiece, and glasses would have been in reverse. So... But where the heck is the mirror in this case? Like, I still... If we're assuming that the old man was sitting over here, there's no way that he could have looked... Where would the mirror had to have been? Like, I'm still thinking, like, here. But that means he would have had to have looked, like, sat here, looked right here. But there's no way he would have been able to see straight like this. So... Let me see again. You think old CD saw everything through a reflection. If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony, but that just makes the situation... What would the old man have seen that should not have been... that would not have been reversed? Trying to think of, like... The cup, earpiece, and glasses would have seen... He would have seen everything in reverse. I want to press this again. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse? Hey, Nick, we should take a second think about what the old CD said in his testimony. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup with his left hand. If he saw everything he was described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said saw on the left was actually on the right. There's gotta be like one thing I'm missing. That... What am I missing? That wouldn't have been backwards. I'm thinking it might be the... Maybe the earpiece? No. Because that would have been right. Damn. The only things we have in terms of choices, really, are the crime photo. Well, hold on. Just to be safe, yeah? Alright. Man, so... Broke the face in my seat. Blueprints of the crime scene. Maybe we could use the blueprints of the crime scene to say that he couldn't have seen it that way? No. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we're not going in that direction. I don't think it's the coffee cup, because it would have been... Because it would have been the other way. If he was looking at it through a mirror. Well... I mean, his left eardrum was ruptured. There's no way he would have had it on him. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt.
So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur. Now that you think about it, it is not so hard, non? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. Oh, that's right, because he didn't say the ear. He only said the. Okay, I got it.
Objection!
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks?
You remember this, I presume?
The I broke the vase, sorry, apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man.
Slam!
I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Well, Trite?
That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Oh, well, okay.
Wow, I really thought he was old Seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good.
I didn't realize he was like, okay. Okay, game. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick! Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash.
What? Thanks, Maya.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you look at the plans of the restaurant. Okay. Onto the mirror. Hello? Is everyone still sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. What? Excuse me? There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. That was the seat at the table next to la victim's. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. Wait a minute, what? But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Excuse me, that's not... Isn't that not where he said he was in the first place? I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little croquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Was that pronounced right? Probably wasn't. That's fine.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again.
Oh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course! Alright, very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. Alright, so... The question becomes, at that point, was there a broken... Hold on. Not the blueprints here. I need the photo, right? There it is. I knew it. I knew that was wrong because if you look right here on the very left, there's a vase right here. So that means that his testimony that he made saying he broke a vase, well, that's the contradiction in the fact that there's a vase here because he had broken a vase according to his little letter or testimony. So I just got to find the right thing here. Okay, so if I present the photo here, right? That should do it, yeah? Easy game, dude. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. I probably should have done the presses because the pressing is always very fun, but I knew the answer immediately, so oh well. The crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist? Huh. Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is this? Is this something that should not exist in this photo? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence.
Take it!
There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Objection! Slam.
Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly. The random noises when they, you know, like when everyone like nods their heads and like it's the stereotypical like I don't know why I enjoy doing that so much in these, but it's just so funny to me. All right, there's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trebion that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Big objection! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Slam. Unfortunately, Mr. Godo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. He just slams down his coffee. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear?
You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. Oh boy. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The victim was a phony. The ear doctor made a mistake. Interesting choices we have here. I kind of want to see... Alright, we're going to see what happens. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. That sounds so simple, yet so true. It's not, but... Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake.
Mr. Wright, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions.
And?
If you're trying to tell us the old man just made a mistake, we can wrap this case up right now with a guilty verdict.
How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I just declare your client guilty?
Is that your best you can come up with, Nick?
I was so hopeful. Alright. Alright. This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Slap, slap, slap. Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you just say?
Wright, were you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Wright. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the servant girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo the fake poisoning. Or this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Ooh la la! This is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribune that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. Ooh, wee. Wee. God damn it. Alright. La victim, Monsieur Elg. He came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon Elg became very excited.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. None, there was no time for a phony to do la acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no me in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I want this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
Why would you do that? Like, at all? For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. You took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Okay. Alright, came to restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When we got word, he won the lottery, became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning occurred. Alright, hang on. Died between 1:30 and 2:30. And the ticket was... Okay. So that's fine. Maybe we can go with that. I'm curious if we can go that route right now. Damn. I mean, you kind of could have gone that direction. I guess we aren't going that way yet. Which is fine. Alright, so... Remember, old man arrived not long after him. Okay. Waiting ticket for $500,000. Okay. There were no other customers. Alright, let's press real quick here. Was he alone at his table as well?
My sweet. I saw him from la kitchen.
Oh, sneezing time. Excuse me. Alright. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently.
Miss Bird.
She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection.
Unfortunately for you, Wright, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite.
What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee! It's love! It's love that's bittersweet!
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. Okay. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more.
So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Let's try what time was it. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m. noon. Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. Oh god, that laugh was awful. Oh god. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of the day will be added to the witness's testimony. Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha. God, at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
Alright. Not long after him, just after 2 p.m. Should we throw out the, well, let's try pressing this then. Are you absolutely sure about the time? When I think really odd, I am sure it was just after 2. It is that time I stopped serving la lunch menu. Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Ha ha! I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness, get on with your testimony, please. All right. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim?
Objection.
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice.
Huh?
You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind bird seed to make coffee, if you catch my drift.
But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. Okay. Did you see him? None, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, yes, $500,000.
Presumably the defendant heard that too, then, correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. And what about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat. It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands. Okay. And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry? What do you mean? There's la renowned chef Jean Armstrong and la tragic poet Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef and $500,000 of debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court? Please don't. Just don't. Alright. You mean you contradicted the police as soon as contradicted? Yes, that's exactly what happened. You did it! You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from la payphone.
By your own argument, Trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed. Bien, it seems la shadow of doubt has been lifted. N'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh?
Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
What if you're right? Wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Alright, it's gotta be something about this 2 p.m. thing. Between 1:30 and 2:30. That's not gonna help me. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna check something real quick, chat. Alright. I'm gonna try this. I don't know if it's right. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. I thought it was something around like the time that the radio thing happened, because if Mr. Kudo had heard if Mr. Kudo was there, he would not have been there after 2 because the lottery drawing happens at 1:30. So. What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That must be the show Mon Elg was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui. I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had finished serving la lunch menu.
Get to the point, Trait, if you have one.
Slam. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30? Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred at 2 p.m. or could have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There was only one conclusion you could draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Trebon that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance, Trait. You were almost on a roll.
Huh?
But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this? Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is?
I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Trait. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
What?
Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer in there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim?
Oh no! Oh boy. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor.
No conjecture, Trait. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
Evidence?
What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with the contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? Oh boy. It would have had to have been inside Trebion, right? Because then you would say Mr. Armstrong's an accomplice at that point. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Trebion. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Trebion is... The body was hidden here! I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Ah, that's what it is. Because they found the victim's ear medicine in the kitchen. Got it. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use la very best bottles, monsieur. The highest.
God, my words.
The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Trebion.
Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an... Oh, God. I had the word... Otolaryngological. There we go. Otolaryngological. Sorry. I forgot we had done the word once. Otolaryngological clinic, and was given medication that day.
You can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription of that was given to Mr. Glenn Elg. Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen. Oh, come on, don't give me that. I blame my speech impediment, okay? At which time, this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Money!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No!
Order. There is currently some frame drop happening. There we go. This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing!
No! What? Godo! What is happening with Godo? No! Mr. Godo?
Slam!
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules.
Why? Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now?
Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my age-deficient friend?
I won't demand a pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. Por favor. Sorry. Por favor. It's not what it is. Yeah.
I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
None! No, none! Absolutely none!
Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Grotto's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. Oui, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. It is true. I ate la bounty in la kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But it did not kill him. I swear it, you must believe me. You were forced by who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? There was. Yeah, we're finally getting a reason for Tigray to be a thing now. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. It's just one more thing I need to do. Gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Okay. Hey, welcome back, Danny. What's up, bud? All right. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? All right. Slam. What man? Who was he? None. I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yep, we have shields now. If you, I don't know if you've seen the tweet, Danny, but you can do ! announcement, and you can see the thing that kind of sparked that whole thing. I don't remember if you saw it or not. So yeah. No, I get you. It's just it's not a big deal. That's why I have that, so you can see the tweet easier. But yeah, so that's the new channel mascot, Violet. Or I should say the revamped channel mascot, Violet. Alright. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man? Alright. And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. What's up, Newton? How you doing, bud? A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason, so I'll just have to prove it with evidence. Alright. I'm gonna presume it's the debt. Yeah, it's the owner is tender lender. It's exactly what it is. Sorry. I forgot that that was the tie-in, was because the owner of the loan was tender lender, etc., etc., etc. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui, Jesus désolé. I was weak and I borrowed la money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. Blah! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything. This man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong! La Tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting la victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried la body and lank what? Inconscient? I was gonna say inconscient, I guess? Yeah, I guess that's what it would be. Inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket, was that your doing as well? None! I knew nothing about that! Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Godo, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
How the...
Don't sit back and relax yet, Trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godo. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, this is gonna be something. Oh boy, oh boy. My voice is already fucking up. I'll do what I can, but I can't guarantee anything right now. Because the Furio Tigre voice is gonna hurt a lot. I already know it. Yes. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 1.
So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick.
I wish I could agree.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godo picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, pal!
Detective Gumshoe!
What are you so chubby about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up.
No kidding.
You've got to have something you need me to do, pal. Anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I can get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour.
an hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on these?
Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints are on it belong to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too.
All right.
Okay, I'll get this up to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
I feel like we've done this before. I feel like this exact situation has happened. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
January 8th, 1:56 p.m. Here we go, chat. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godo, did you find this Furio Tigre?
I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem.
Tamed him? Name may be Furio Tigre, but come on.
He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites.
Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. All right, witness, please state your name and occupation for the... I love Tigre's music. Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there too. What'd you... What'd you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge?
I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
Ah, no, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. The freaking judge is like, I'm out, see ya.
Maybe yous didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What did you say? There's no point in struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law.
Yeah, this is wasting time, it's fine.
And I'm the one that holds you in.
too cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick!
Wait. Hang on, I can just wait.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick!
Better. Farther away.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy! You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Byard? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas!
Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Phoenix Wright!
Huh?
You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying, Kurra? Timmy, what?
Oh, maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get a grip, Nick!
The tiger's alibi.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tenderlander every single day. Yous wanna check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination...
Arr!
What is it? Please, witness, if you can refrain from shouting out like that.
I know the kind of games that the guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Lowlife? Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one long loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport.
Just a minute. That's really not.
This witness is, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here.
You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Are you kidding? Also, my voice is deteriorating really quick. I can feel it starting to hurt. Oh, the Tigray voice. Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick!
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? All right. Okay. Alright. I don't know nothing about no murder. Started up a business December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. Whales signed up to borrow cash from every single day. Ask Violetta. Okay. By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini families?
Yeah, you don't want to cross them or you's gonna wind up sleeping with the fishes. Once the Godfather finds out you's been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do you in.
Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there.
He said that just like Viola, didn't he?
Oh, Got the feeling this might not be the right time to probe him about her. Mr. Tiger,
What do you want?
if you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection.
This is a dead end, Wright, and you know it. Remember the rules.
Arresting the witness without evidence to back up your attack is prohibited. As I said earlier, the court will impose a penalty for such behavior. Okay, fine. Ouch, the pain. All right. We'll let it roll. Now then, Mr. Tigray, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please?
My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I miss that bus, someone's gonna pay.
Okay. I'm just gonna take the hit on that one and be fine. All right, so... Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp. Is he talking about Viola Cadavarini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Here he goes again. The Tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? It's too dangerous to press things without knowing where they might end up. I'd better just focus on gathering information at the moment. Now then, Mr. Tigray. Oh, okay.
Just think, all you have to do is press him on something irrelevant and bam, $50,000.
Get real, Maya. How about you pay back the money then? Your allowance should cover it.
Hey, I'm no idiot, you know.
Well, I'm certainly not the one who thought the $50,000 was free money. Anyway, I need to work this guy without pressing his testimony too hard.
But his testimony is pretty solid as it is.
Admit nothing jumps out at me as a contradiction. I've got to find an opening somewhere, or I need to make one. I'm thinking this thing. So let's try this and see if this works. Really? Huh. That's surprising. Interesting. Okay. I'm surprised that didn't... what do we... Okay. I guess that's not technically what we're trying to find out yet. We're trying to just find out if he was there at all to start, I guess, right? I figured that would be the thing that would do it, but... Let's try this. So I take it you get a lot of customers at your black market loan office?
It's tough for the little guys these days. Small businesses are feeling the pinch. Bosses of companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend.
I see. That's very admirable of you, witness.
Yeah, well, Tender Lender's motto is win through compromise, you know?
Win through compromise? What is that supposed to mean?
Compromise the customer to win. That's what it means. You's got it?
With best friends like you, who needs enemies?
Here, let me spell it out for yous all.
You don't pay me...
You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky. I take what's due and your stupid hair. Yous follow what I'm saying?
But I'm not one of your customers. No. I think we need to go with the December one. If we can push that farther, we may be able to get something out of it. Alright. Alright, December mainly in the office. Alright. Alright, so I want to press harder on this. Mr. Tigray.
What do you want?
Really?
Objection.
Really? Interesting. Okay. So I don't really have anything like... Oh, I didn't press this yet. I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Trebion.
You's got a big mouth, right? You's trying to say I was in on some mob hit? Is that what you's trying to say? Where's your proof then?
Evidence. Yes, well...
For an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from Load Shock to Lawyer, a beginner's guide, yeah?
Ah, I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tigray. Very good.
Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, Trait?
What should I do? I feel like we're gonna get the same thing, but it doesn't hurt to try at this point, right? Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. All right. This one's hard. Let's see. Okay, maybe we can try that. Nope. We're trying to connect him somehow, but like, I don't know why. Okay. Started with business December last year. I got wells lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Don't check my outlet, just ask Violetta. Maybe the actual loan contract? No. You need to work this guy without pressing testimony too hard. Nothing jumps out as me as a contradiction, but I've got to find an opening somewhere. I need to make one. To make one, huh? Tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time in my office. But the magazine clipping isn't gonna do me any good. I already tried that. What else can we do here? Oh, a month ago. She writes everything in my scheduler. December mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. And then we already tried pressing it, and we couldn't do anything about it. There's literally none of these we can actually press harder. What are we looking for here? Gotta be... I feel like I did that once, but I wanted to try it anyway because I couldn't remember if I did it or not. Alright. Shit. Find an opening somewhere. No. Damn. What am I missing? Let's see. Maybe... No, that won't do anything. What else can we do? The matches. Well, his medical papers, no. Press this again one more time. I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Trebion. Trying to say it was in some mob hit? Is that what he's trying to say? Where's your proof then? Okay. And if I press harder, I'm gonna get the same thing that I did last time, which was nothing. So... maybe the MC Bomber thing? Or the... maybe the actual CD? No. Are we gonna go with the magazine clipping? No. Shit. What am I missing? Because all we're trying to just tie him to the case at all right now. I just gotta find that, like, it's gotta be one small dumb detail. Again. Okay. Nothing there, nothing there. It was a long shot, but... I'm pretty stumped on this one, to be honest with you. Was tied up with business in December last year. The things that I thought of would have worked definitely haven't. So... Alright. Damn it. Crap. Check my alibi. Ask Violetta. Do we just present her? I honestly did not think it would work, but... may as well try, right? Head of a business December last year, spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Don't check my alibi, just ask Violetta. Cataverini girl, yep. Yep. So... I already pressed on this, right? Yeah. There's only 4 of them. I've pressed on all of them, haven't I? Like, pressed harder or whatever? Shit. What is it that I'm missing? Ah! So... Okay, so tying Furio T grade 2, this case, it's not going to be the sports paper, because that has nothing to do with it yet. That's involving the MC Bomber stuff. This is going to be used probably as a follow-up piece of evidence for something. Useless. For something later involving the medical bills. This could be something. Useless. All this is useless. This will be used for something later. Used for something later. I figured this might be a way to tie him into it. No. This eventually will be used for something to talk about the scooter and everything. And then this is the other thing. This is the only other thing. Like, why'd you have matches at your office? Wait, do we do this? Maybe we do it this way? What? What do you mean? Either I'm supposed to press harder on something that I didn't. I'm just gonna try it again. So I did get a lot of customers. It's tough for little guys. Yep. Lots of companies want to get good in with me. Okay. Compromise. Okay. Let's try this. Oh my god, again!
Objection!
They're all dead ends. Game. Every single press is led to that dead end thing. I'm gonna verify that fact, but I'm pretty certain. Yep, same thing. Ah, damn it. Don't know nothing about no murder. Can we just, like, throw this at him? Nope. Damn it, dude. Why can't I figure this out? Go to the end? Well, that's what I did. Like, I need to work this guy without pressing his testimony too hard. His testimony is pretty solid. I mean, nothing jumps out. I've got to find an opening somewhere, or I need to make one. But that's what I've been trying to do, is, like, we have so many ways to try and, like, make that a thing. Like, some of this should work at some point. Like, it all works at some point. It's just apparently not this one time. Like, how could you say he's not connected when you have a loan contract from Tender Lender for the dude? That is the chef of the or the owner of the goddamn place where the murder occurred. How can you not? Like, how can you not say that he's not connected with a freaking thing that the person who died, it says literally meet with the tiger in December? Like, what? Hello? I just kind of threw it out there. It's not right, but maybe what I think isn't right is actually right. Tied up a business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. No? Ugh! Hang on, I'm waiting for the frames to come back. Press the December business one. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know? See, yeah, it's the thing about the Viola Cadaverini thing. She writes everything in my scheduler, December mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. Then he hides under the thing, and we can't push any further than it because we get the same deal. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Like, I have the thing that says that, but let me do it. This is gonna lead to the same shit again. See?
Objection.
Oh. I hate this game sometimes. You don't throw the same line and then do it. Anyway. Fuck you, game. Alright. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too?
Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Goto, if you please.
Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony.
Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Okay. The days she was talking about, I was in the office. I never saw... Okay. Now we can throw this at him. Jesus. That's annoying that they did it that way. Anyway, Mr... Oh, God. Oh, God. Did you hear that, chat? Did you hear that? Oh. Oh, my voice is destroyed, dude. That... oh, that voice crack was bad. That was really bad. Even I heard it. I have been. This shit just kills me, dude. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him.
Not bad! You's actually not bad!
Sorry?
I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing?
Ruh-roh.
So you're saying that you claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that that's the truth. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. T. Gray.
Oh, yes. Would you mind indulging the court, witness? Something in my eye. Never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. Time I nailed this guy. Alright. Oh god, there's something in my eye. Stop. Okay, I think I got it.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never been to that Trebion joint. You's here?
Well, time to contradict that immediately. I see, that all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right?
Alright, I know exactly what we need to do for this one, so... We need to go here. I ain't never been to the Trebion joint. Haha, good joke, bud. Mr. T. Gray, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you's talking about?
We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant.
What?
If you've really never... Oh, God. Oh, the voice cracks. Oh, they hurt. They hurt me. If you've never... Apparently, I never get to say never again. If you've never been to Trebion before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
You've been stupid around to my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you?
Ah!
Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me.
I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day.
What?
But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elk that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Okay.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
Okay. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end. With the end, then. Yeah, that. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Anytime Trey presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Mr. Goto, that's my job. Oh, did it rip? Oh, it did rip there for a minute, sorry.
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it.
Yes, sir.
The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since you's paying.
Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Alright, good.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We already did that. Alright, we're gonna save. So we can't unnecessarily press here. When I open the door, I saw one ugly scene. The guy's laid over the table. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlender at all, then?
The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen if there are any issues.
Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Tribune?
Huh. You're going over old ground again, Trait.
Sorry.
You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down.
You will suck down the penalty, Mr. Wright, and you will like it. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Alright. An ugly scene? What do you mean?
The witness has already told us, Trait, which makes that question irrelevant.
But...
I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, Trait. Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney. Ashen.
Don't make me burn you again, Mr. Wright. Suck it down.
Suck it!
Hey, what's up? What's up, Icy Fire Mage? How you doing, buddy? I guess I shouldn't have pressed him on that.
Guess I'm gonna make the Special Express after all.
So, to recap, this ugly scene you saw was... Okay. I'm comfy you. I'm doing just fine. My voice is kind of dying, but I'm doing okay. You mean you saw Glen Elk's dead body?
I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat.
And what time was this?
I don't know.
Huh?
You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches! Round watches! I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some turrican henpecker!
With some ticking, sorry.
With some ticking henpecker?
One Piece is trending on Twitter for the second week in a row. Why? Out of interest, Mr. T. Gray, what winds you up the second most?
Huh? What'd you think? Square watches!
Is this guy for real?
Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place.
Okay. So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then?
The tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation.
So, when exactly did you pick up the matches?
Their match is just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home.
Poor Gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. Heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I was straight back to my office. Okay. You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did?
What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me yous ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this!
Fucking Goto, dude. The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? It seems you've done it again, Mr. Wright. Another irrelevant line of questioning. Okay. How about a penalty for those two jokers of the garbage they keep coming up with?
Well, Nick, what did you think?
He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. Need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. Got to come right back at him with a contradiction.
Be careful what you press him on, though, or you'll get penalized, okay?
Alright. Give me my pressing health back. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I knew that shit was happening in it. I haven't, I read the last chapter. Because, shit did happen last time. In the last one. Alright, is that true? Okay. So this was this one, right? Yeah. It's a busy egg on the 10. We have no murder investigation. When did you pick up the matches at the front door? Okay. Was this the other one? Doc Glen Oak's dead body. When I saw him from behind, he was wearing some ragged bit of clothes called a hat. And what time was this? Doesn't know. You don't watch it more than anything else the world watches. So it's the watch thing, right? Need to know something bad was going down that place. Okay. So those are the kind of two that we have to work with here. Let's see. It was going to be, so he left. Heard the cop's sirens on his way out. Could he have seen it, though? I'm curious if he might not have been able to have seen it from the door. Because there are those dividers, right? Nope. Okay. I figured it was worth a shot. Okay. Hmm. Call the police by payphone. Hmm. Does the time of death help us here at all? I don't think this... Yeah, I didn't think it worked, but may as well have tried. Oh, sorry, lost a little more there. Shit. Well, damn. What else can we do here? Open the doors, so I've seen. Guys laid out over the tables. There was concrete. Figured the place wasn't gonna be held already. It was gonna be, so I split. Hmm. Oh, did I do the wrong one? Wait a minute. I did do the wrong one. Okay, so I was right originally, I think, but I just didn't I picked the wrong photo. Whoops. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigray? Yeah, that does deserve the derp. Absolutely.
No one escapes the tiger's clutches!
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one else escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight.
What's this trait? A new line of irrelevant questioning?
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. If you were standing at the entrance, and you say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigray, from there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head!
Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think... God damn it. Come on, voice cracking, stop. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here.
Sweaty Tigray.
So from the entrance of Trebion, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Objection. Slam.
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elk, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Would it have been Armstrong? That's the only other person that could have done it, right? Same with my frames. It would have to be Armstrong, right? I'm like doubting myself on it. Fuck it. Obviously, it's this person. It's the person you least expect. Oh, what's the matter, Your Honor? Oh, nothing. I just dropped my pen again. Don't mind me. Carry on with the proceedings as normal. Okay, fine, game. No, loading would go back. Well, that's fine. I want to see that part again anyway. Because I think I misworded exactly what I was, I think what I was looking for was different. Okay, so we're doing the field of vision thing. Yada, yada, yada. What? From the answer trivia, I couldn't see the victim. See, but you did see the victim that day because you met with him.
Objection.
Okay. Gone with the old man's testimony said the victim was alone at his table. Alright. I'm going to do this. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elk, but a fake. In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the person? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg and then impersonated the victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it except John Armstrong. Totally. What? Well, witness? Hang on a second. Okay.
Now that's cute. Yous think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe yous don't understand. The tiger is the king of the jungle. So I dare yous to say again, come on! You got the guts!
You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigray. Obviously, Soma. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright!
Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You's got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. Wright, don't leave me to handle this alone.
Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Godo.
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no.
The servant girl brought him a Java Cheeto, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She's very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee.
Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the cup. Very impressive, Mr. Godo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack.
Found your pen at last, Wright?
It was in my pocket. Oh, God. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg really was the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? I know this one! I know this one! Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadavarini. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
You's making a big mistake! Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick!
Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. Or when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness, what have you got to say?
That's cute!
Sorry.
You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go.
Something to think about?
Yous got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But yous missed out on one real important thing!
But that can't be!
I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too.
Huh?
But I couldn't have poisoned him, yous hear?
What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigray?
What a troublemaker.
Troublemaker?
Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trebion between yourself and the victim? All right. Eyes to the victim.
Yeah, I loaned Elk cash, about $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won! $500,000! He got lucky, you know. Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she had done, everything would have been over.
Now I see that principle about words. Now I see that the principal amount you loaned Mr. Elg was $50,000.
Yeah, well, you's got the vig to take into account. You's got the vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know.
That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? I'm pretty sure I know this part. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. What is... Okay. The waitress, you mean...
The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair, who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing bada boom, over and done with.
Maybe I should push a little on this. Alright. Let's see. Ask about what Maggie did. What exactly are you implying the defendant did?
How about you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad, she poisoned Elk's coffee.
A likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. T. Gray.
Objection! Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, Wright.
The law don't exactly agree with some of the deals I send down. I couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split.
I see.
Your Honor. The witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee.
I concur, Mr. Godo. You will amend your testimony accordingly, witness.
So that's what you's after, Phoenix, right?
Thanks to what she did, my business with that kid was over. The tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Are yous all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I could tell from the witness's testimony, other than the recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony, or would you like it amended? Have it amended. I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended. Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please. All right. I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. Bring it on, baby. Let's go. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elgo, do you correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection! What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be Heh, what else would a moneylender be after other than money?
Oh, the money lender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
Huh?
What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hopes of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial. Can computer cook food? I mean, kind of. What? Glen Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection! You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get a hold of that program?
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Wright. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had the time. But if he had needed the money right then, when the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money in the tune of $1 million? Bringing it home, baby! Let's go! In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money.
Huh?
About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do you know?
Those medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs.
No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Ah!
Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadavarini.
Huh? Did you say Cadavarini?
Bruto Cadavarini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadavarini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadavarini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elk's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glen Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I.
The lottery win?
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means.
That's crazy.
He murdered Glen Elk and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Elg, while Viola Cadavarini played the role of Miss Bird. Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order, order. Silence or I will clear the...
Yous put on a good show, Spiky.
Huh?
If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? What was the last one? I'm assuming it was the bottle, putting the bottle in her apron pocket.
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused?
Oh, to frame the accused. Oh, yeah. It was the magazine thing. So that would be... It'd be the magazine clipping at that point. Yeah. Godo?
And what's the relevance of that, Trite?
It's, just a little intro.
An intro to what? An intro into what?
It seems all this has been an elaborate trick on the part of the defense. What do you mean? What? Okay. What? Excuse? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? What? Okay, what? Maybe. Okay, it is the fake badge. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove that the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Oh.
Hey, forget about it, yeah?
Huh?
I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Slam. Have you no pride, sir?
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here at Cole, we deal with people's lives.
Mr. Goto is right, Your Honor. Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
If the defense has no further evidence, this court will now excuse the witness. Oh boy. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far!
You're saying he has impersonated Glen Elg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge.
Where is Gumshoe Where's Gumshoe?
You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
No!
Gumshoe? Where are you?
Ha! Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You's got that?
All we managed to do here is chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. T. Gray. Hey!
Wait!
Oh, God.
Wait! I made it!
Detective Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe!
Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence.
Well, what? January 8th, 2:48 p.m., District Court, Defend Lobby number 1.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results back results from the lab.
The results?
About the prints, pal, from the medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So tell us! They're the tigers, right? I knew it!
You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great! We've got him now, Nick! What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the Tigre put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This is our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence for the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe?
Maggie!
You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. and I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get you out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone.
Isn't there anything we could do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. I'm like right on the cusp of death. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I granted you a recess so you can prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time are yous gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before, but yous lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victims? Your Honor? Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre.
What?
But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows that this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell is in it? What the hell's in it anyway?
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Oh boy. Why? Because it contains... This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You make a good clown, you know that?
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. You just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix, right? That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass.
Okay, Mr. Tigre, how do you know that?
That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
Kodo! Got him. At last.
What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
Yous don't know who yous messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. Yous think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Biggest gua ever. Is he dead yet? What's going on?
It looks like a blackout.
Well done, Wright. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godo?
He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Byard was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was.
And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Rio Tigre is truly a frightening criminal.
The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Godo. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Byard not guilty. Woo woo! Yeah, we did it! Yay! Oh, my voice is dead. Clap, clap, clap! Everybody, party! That is all. This court is adjourned. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court, Defend Lobby number 1. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal.
Wait. Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was... Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Wait up, detective! He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. What's up, Newton? That wasn't even of any use. But It's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. You plan on playing the Great Ace Attorney in the future? Maybe? Oh, where's that? What was it? What did I type it again as? Oh, here it is. Okay. There we go. Cool. Anyway, all right, let me go and finish this up. Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear she needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. Got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. I'm assuming the Gumshoe's lunchbox is the only thing we can give at this point. It's a Phoenix Wright game that is about his ancestor that has been translated by a group called Scarlet's. I mean, maybe. It would probably be later, but... Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. But that's... A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
You said you lost weight and he was worried about you.
Detective Gumshoe... I actually really like weenies, you know? Somebody's hungry.
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now?
So how is it, Maggie?
It's really good. Thank you. So the case of the phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. Okay. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. That was pretty good. It didn't have that many like twists and turns in it, but it was still enjoyable. Edgeworth! Oh no. Oh, oh man. Oh shit. Alright, chat. Well, looks like next time we play Phoenix Wright, we will get to start the next case. Woo! Which I think is this the last one, or is there a fifth one? There are 5? Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to start the next case next... we'll see what next Thursday brings because... Actually, no, never mind. I'm an idiot. We won't be doing this next Thursday because I'll be at TwitchCon. So, reminder that next Thursday I will be gone for TwitchCon Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, I might do Phoenix Wright on... Well... I might try and see if I can find one of the days tomorrow to at least do it so we can start it one night. But Monday will definitely be, I know will definitely be something else, but There may be no stream tonight. We will see. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare open beta starts today. So I kind of really want to play it, and I might just stream that, but who knows? We will see what happens if I feel like doing it. Otherwise, I might just keep streaming Daemon X Machina. We'll see what happens. So look forward to that tonight, 8 p.m. EST. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for more Daemon X Machina, and then we'll go from there. So love all you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Be sure to follow if you're not already doing so, and we'll see you then. So goodbye, everybody.